I read my sister's diary and I discovered something that my parents cannot know. Hey everyone, I am Anna. I am 16 years old and I'm going to tell you a story that ends in an unexpected way. I live with my parents and my older sister Alice, who is 17 years old. Since we were born, our parents have always treated us with great care and attention. Our home has always been a place of joy, and our family has always been very close to each other. As teenagers, my parents always said how lucky they were of having us as their daughters. My sister and I were always very hardworking girls at school, and our grades were always very good too. At home, my parents taught us to help in the household tasks, to always help each other, to cook, to wash, and even iron clothes. My sister and I shared the same bedroom. At bedtime, my sister and I used to talk a little about many things. It was so great to feel close to my sister. I was so happy to see how loving she was to me too. She had a lot of friends, and even though she always let me participate in her life, we were really close. Until one day, in the 5th grade, things started to change. I started to spend more time alone. She didn't want to talk to me the same way she used to, and she started to be more distant. And it was this year that she started writing in a diary. And whenever I asked her what she was writing about, she used to change the subject after saying that there were a few things that she didn't want to forget in the future. I confess, I was very curious about it. I wanted to know what she wrote in that diary so much. But it was only her thing, and I had no right to take it and read it. A few months passed, and I forgot about the diary, because she no longer wrote in front of me. Maybe because she didn't want to hear me asking about it anymore. Until one day, I came to the room and it was there, open, on top of her bed. She had gone to the gym and forgot to hide it. In the beginning, I said, it's none of my business. But then I thought again and again, and I couldn't take it anymore. By curiosity, I took it and started reading that diary. The more I read, the less I believed my eyes. Those words made me feel ashamed of what I did, for invading her privacy and for discovering something that I never expected from my sister. What I discovered was very scary, but for my parents it would be much worse. My sister was always a bit different from us, and in her diary, she said that she was attracted to girls. This confession never crossed my mind. A few years ago, I suspected it, but I thought that was something in my imagination. For a while, she even talked about a boy in the 8th grade who was liking her, and she thought she felt the same way about him too. I couldn't believe it, and to my surprise, in the diary, she mentions a friend who also liked girls. And I was shocked because I couldn't believe it either. This girl was my best friend. On an entire sheet, she wrote that she had a recent experience with this friend, that she had managed to talk to her about these thoughts that were in her head. Reading that, I fell into tears, thinking about my parents' reaction, If they ever discover all that, they would never accept it. It was almost time for her arrival from the gym. So I left the diary the way I found it and went down to talk to my mom about other things, of course. When she arrived, she went straight to the room. I went there behind her. She was so scared and took the diary from the bed and hid it quickly. She saw me and she asked me if I went to the room when she was away and before her arrival. I replied that I had just entered, that I was downstairs talking to Mom, and I asked her why she was asking that. She blushed and said it was just a question, that some things in the room were out of place and this is why she thought I was in the room. I didn't want to embarrass her. So later we took a shower, we had a dinner and went to sleep. I couldn't sleep that night. I was wondering how I was going to ask her about it. And to make things even worse, the next day it was Saturday and we spent a day without much conversation at home. It was more tense to know that I discovered and not to be able to talk to anyone. The day didn't seem to end anymore. And at lunchtime, my mom even asked why we were so quiet today. I said that I had a lot of headache and that I would like to go to bed after lunch. So I got up, went to wash the dishes, and then went to my bed to lay down. I had hardly slept last night, so I really had a headache. Alice came right behind me. She laid down too, with her diary in her hand, and started writing. At that moment, I was so nervous and anxious that I got up and asked her what she was writing all the time on that diary. She didn't even look at me, and she said, "It's none of your business." I was even more nervous because she spoke to me like that. I looked at her and I said, "Don't you trust me anymore? It seems that we are no longer sisters." She blushed and she stopped writing, and then she said that she loved me, but that I would never understand. With tears in her eyes, she said she didn't want to be judged by me. At that moment, I started to cry and I asked her to tell me what was happening, promising her that I would understand. She took the diary and gave it to me. I pretended to be reading it for the first time. Then I closed the diary and I hugged her. In tears, I said that I would never stop loving her because of that she can count on me to help her whenever she needs me. She cried even more and said that she loved me too, that she was suffocated because of this, because she couldn't tell anyone else. At the end of the conversation, she said that she was relieved to have told me. The weight was all on me now, and without thinking, I said that our parents needed to know. She quickly said that they should never know. If our father ever knew, he would kick her out of the house, and if he knew that she was thinking about those things. I tried to argue, saying that at least to tell our mother that she should know. I was sure that she would understand and that she would help her and give her support. Every day that passed, my sister was even more different, and my parents didn't seem to notice that. She started to wear different clothes and changed her haircut, and they just thought that maybe she has a new style. One night, when she got home, we agreed to watch a movie and to eat popcorn. When the movie ended, we went up to the room, and when she came back, we started talking. And she told me that she was feeling something for a boy at school, the one that she had told me once about him. She said that everything was very confusing in her head and that she didn't know what else to do. I decided to help my sister, but I do not have any experience in life. Imagine in relationships. So I went to talk to my mom. I told my mother everything the next day. With great love, my mother called my sister to talk and said that it was normal for her to be so confused about everything, that she had also gone through similar things as a teenager. And here she added that some thoughts are influenced by others, by people around us, and that these thoughts made her confused about what she really felt. My mother told her to try to talk more with that boy, and that she would surely find the answers about everything she was feeling for him and about herself as well. As I said in the beginning, this story ended unexpected. My sister started dating Gustavo. It's been now 7 months with him. She realized that she loved him and she loved being with him, that dating him was all what she really wanted. And despite respecting our friend who said she liked girls, she never had doubts about her feelings ever again.